Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Construction Corner podcast. You guessed it. Today you get a solo show. So we're going to jump right back into our exploration of the book Traction by Gino Wickman. Originally, I had planned on doing a show about the accountability chart and its power and its use in an organization. But because of some recent things that I'm dealing with at my own company, I'm going to skip that section and move into something a little bit different on down the line. And frankly, I can do that because there's nobody else here with me today, so I can really do whatever the hell I want. So today we're going to talk about the issues list. The issues list is a topic from the book Traction, obviously. It is part of the overall issues component, and it really boils down to the holes in your boat, right? We've talked about holes in the boat a few times, once fairly recently, so I'm not going to get into that. But basically, every organization has them. Every organization has issues. They have holes in the boat. Everyone, frankly, for the most part, has the same damn issues as everyone else. They pop up over and over again, and they morph and they take on different shapes. But the reality is there's not often issues that are completely brand new for us to deal with, right? What changes is how we adapt and how we react to these issues when they do come up. So reading through the issues list section in Mr. Wickman's book, he basically recommends a few things, but one of them is a standpoint that I love, right? He calls it smoking them out. So he mentions you need to smoke the issues out so you can get them out into the open, so you can deal with them, so you can fix them. I refer to this as tearing the Band-Aid off. I say that phrase a lot. My kids hate it because I say it all the time at home too, but that's how I view this. Whenever there's animosity or there's things going on, frankly, whether at my house or in the office, it always is best to just tear the fucking Band-Aid off and let the blood flow. Right. And what I mean by that is everybody's got to put their feelings away at some point. Now, that's not as easy to do in the house as it is the office. So we're going to focus on the office side because this is not a show about how to rear children. But in the office setting, as productive adults, especially adults in this crazy world of construction where we live and operate, there should be no issues. There should be no problem with tearing the Band-Aid off and openly and honestly communicating about the issues that your company may be facing. Can it be uncomfortable? Yeah, sure as shit can. But that's kind of the point. Issues are uncomfortable. They shouldn't make you feel good. But what's worse and what's more uncomfortable is if you don't discuss the issues, if you don't rip the Band-Aid off and get to the root of the problem and fix these things. Then you're left with this festering problem, and problems that fester never get better, right? It's like a bad illness or a bad disease, okay? If you let things fester too long, the hole gets too big, the boat sinks. You've all heard this story before. So part of the way that we as leaders in this industry, in any industry, need to approach this is we need to enforce a culture in our own organizations where our teammates are comfortable in calling out the issues that they see, and this is the important side, and holding people accountable. Okay, let me repeat that. You have to have a comfort in calling out issues and holding people accountable that are responsible for those issues. Now, sometimes the issues that you might have are really the fault of everyone or a handful of people, depending on your size. Sometimes the issues that you have are the fault of one person. It doesn't really matter. And what needs to happen in any organization in order to prosper is you need to have a comfort level to call these people out, call these issues out, get them on the damn table so they can be discussed and solved. If you don't, you die, period. The holes in your boat get too big and you sink. So To do this, you have to be open and honest, right? As a leader, especially, you have to be the top of the stack. You have to be open and honest with your people. If you don't, or if you're not, then you're just a fucking liar and you should go hang it up and do something else. Go work for someone else. If you can't be open and honest with your people, whether it's comfortable or not, frankly, especially when it's not comfortable, if you can't handle that, then you should not be in a leadership role, period. Nobody likes getting their asses chewed, right? Nobody likes getting yelled at. Nobody likes fucking up. Nobody likes getting called out. Nobody likes getting put on the spot in front of their peers. Nobody likes any of these things. But you know what nobody likes even worse than any of that? Losing. Because an organization that continues to lose will not survive very long. Now, will it? No, it will not. Organizations that can't get their shit together and continue to lose will die on the vine, and they go away. We see this all the time with construction companies, with design firms, with companies of any nature and any magnitude. If you can't get your shit together, you're going to be done, and you're going to be done sooner than later. So you got to be open. You got to be honest. And it starts with an overall level of trust throughout your organization. Your people, your team, and yourself, you all have to trust that by bringing up an issue, by calling someone out and pointing out an issue and bringing these things to the forefront, bringing them to the table, that there's not going to be repercussions, right? That there's not going to be some weird animosity now that is going to be doled out to you for eternity because you called out someone or you brought up an issue that you see is affecting the company in a negative way. You have to have the trust and the wherewithal to recognize that this is part of the process. None of us are perfect, right? We chase perfection all the time, but none of us are perfect. So we have to be able to trust in the fact that everyone else is thinking the same way, right? And again, this goes back to it not being comfortable. It isn't comfortable, but you know what? Nothing good is. You have to get comfortable being uncomfortable if you want to survive in this world. And in this industry, in the construction industry, if you're not comfortable getting very uncomfortable, you're not going to last long. So you as a leader have to build this trust. You have to build this trust that creates an open culture, because you have to have a very high level of trust for people to speak freely about items that are very uncomfortable for them and for other people. Patrick Lencioni, I believe is how you pronounce his name, wrote a great book called The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. In his book, he brings up this point that a high level of trust is the foundation of what makes teams healthy and functional. Let that sink in for a second. The high level of trust in your organization is your foundation. That means that is what everything is built off of, right? I love the reference. It's topical to this industry, but it's absolutely true. It's what everything is built off of. Without trust, you have nothing. You have no culture, and you might as well go do something else. You might as well go sell widgets. So again, being comfortable, getting uncomfortable, being open, being honest, and having a trust that you can bring up issues and you can call somebody out and you can hold people accountable, having the trust that none of these things are going to have a negative effect on you is of paramount importance. And it starts with the top. As a leader, whether you're the top dog or the next in line or the next in line or the next one, you better be able to admit your mistakes and fess up to your own shortfalls in front of your people. And you better be able to take your shit and put it on the issues list and ask for help and then discuss it openly and honestly with your people. Because if you can't do that, then you're a fucking liar. If you can do that, you build trust. All right? If you can do that, if you can call yourself out when it's appropriate, your people will see that. They will see your honesty. They will see your lack of fear when it comes to opening up about these sort of things. And if they're worth their salt, they'll follow suit. So it starts with the top. You have to do that. You have to admit your mistakes, and you got to put those on your list. What we're dealing with, and I'm not going to get into specifics, but there's been a couple instances lately where shit just didn't work right. Things kind of fell apart. I've got my suspicions as to why, and we will flesh these out here in the very, very near future. We're recording this, ironically, on a Monday because I didn't get my own shit done this weekend, so I had to push recording this show off until Monday afternoon, knowing that I have to get it done to post for Tuesday morning. That's part of life. Well, I admitted that to my co-host. I admitted that to my wife, who's questioning why the hell I'm locked up at HQ2 late on a Monday evening. But that's just part of the process. So letting the issues flow freely is critical to growing. It's critical to keeping your business where you want to be and to getting past these levels and to the next level, right? It's critical. So what we're going to do, and this is another tip from the book Traction, Gino Wickman recommends having a meeting, perhaps your next meeting, and at that meeting, every single person that is invited needs to bring with them 2 issues. They have to be significant enough to be worthy of talking about. Okay? They have to be true issues to the company. If you don't have 2 issues, you don't get invited back, and you don't get to sit at that meeting. Get the hell out. Go somewhere else. So I'm going to actually shoot an email out tonight to my team that I have a meeting with tomorrow, and I'm going to suggest this very thing. Everyone's going to bring 2 issues to the table, and we're going to put them on our issues list, and we're going to take as much time as needed over the next few weeks, and we're going to solve each and every one of these issues, because that's how we move forward, okay? You have to get them out on the table. You have to be willing to talk about them, and if you can't do that, you're in the wrong industry. You're in the wrong space. Once you get all of your issues listed out, you can start down a formal track called the issue solving track, or the IDS, where you identify, discuss, and then eventually solve each issue. I've talked about this before. My ex-business partner and I used to kind of run through a modified version of this at year end for our annual planning meetings. That's all changing too. But what we're gearing towards at Schaefer Construction is having this IDS process happen in every single meeting. Again, following the cues from the book. But when this happens at every single meeting, theoretically, the list becomes smaller and smaller and smaller, because every week, or however frequently you meet, every time you meet, you're addressing these issues. And if you keep addressing the issues, you keep growing, you keep getting better, and eventually you get to a place where you're doing pretty damn good. But if you don't, then you don't. And if you don't solve the issues, if you don't get them out on the table, then nothing ever improves. And if you're not constantly improving, then you're not constantly growing. And if you're not constantly growing, you're dying. So, little quick rant. I know I'm a little fiery. I'm rather pissed off, to be quite honest with you. Like I mentioned, it's late. I didn't want to be recording this, period. I don't want to be dealing with the shit I'm dealing with right now, but that's part of growth. That's part of running a company. That's part of being in construction, right? Nothing ever always goes exactly according to plan. So you have to be able to pivot. You have to be able to shift a bit. You have to be able to do all these things, but you have to be able to be open and honest and talk about them. Because at the end of the day, all we can do is discuss, define, and solve things. And if we can't do that, then why are we even here? Guys, that's what I got for you. This is the issues list. We will get far more into detail in these in the next steps on upcoming episodes. In the meantime, please give us a like and a share. Send this around to your friends who want to hear it or who might want to hear it. Help us keep getting the word out. Check out our YouTube channel, and we will be back for you next week. We have a awesome interview coming up. It will post next Tuesday. I'm not going to give you any hints on who it is, but you are not going to want to miss this one. So stay tuned, and we will catch you all next week.